Welcome back, Focus Learners. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for today's explainer. We are looking at a really fascinating internal meeting document from a group called Auhome, dated May 2026. Now, we hear so much about the artificial intelligence era, but today we're going to look at it from a completely different angle. We're setting up a very specific premise here. Before we can master the AI era, we must first master ourselves. Basically, our own minds are the foundational operating system for any future technology we're going to use.
Okay, let's just dive right into this. It might actually seem kind of surprising to see a deep psychological concept, like clearing doubt, linked directly to technical adoption. But that is exactly the secret sauce we're analyzing today. The team realized that your psychological barriers, they're actually your technological barriers. It's totally intertwined.
So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll be covering the power of logic, perspectives on logical thinking, escaping self-doubt, and finally, building your AI future.
Starting with Section 1, the power of logic. Think of it as the foundational OS. In the AI era, we really have to frame the human mind as the ultimate foundational operating system for literally everything that follows. I mean, if your base logic isn't sound, the AI tools you build on top of it are just going to wobble. To kick things off, the Auhome team actually did a self-evaluation of their personal growth, and, well, spoiler alert, nobody scored an A+. The baseline starting points vary widely, going anywhere from 20% to 50%, and this is highly intentional. It shows us that self-improvement is an ongoing, moving target for everyone. Absolutely no one starts at 100%. Just acknowledging where you currently stand is the first logical step to upgrading your human operating system.
And this brilliantly illustrates how the team actually defines logic. It isn't just cold, hard math. They call it a powerful tool to turn the impossible into the possible, the abstract into the tangible. It's essentially the mechanism by which we, as human beings, take big, messy, abstract ideas and make them a reality.
The meeting notes actually emphasize the vital necessity of this skill with a really striking comparison. They say, without logic, a person becomes like a sick patient. The team views logic as the very core of healthy human function. Because think about it, without it, you're paralyzed. You're unable to navigate the complexities of daily life, let alone the massive complexities of the upcoming AI revolution.
Which leads us to this direct correlation. Strong logic equals strong emotional control. Emotions are completely natural, of course, but unbridled, they'll derail your goals. The document highlights that mastering logic allows you to effectively rein in and control those emotions. It provides the structure you need to process feelings productively rather than destructively.
All right, moving on to Section 2, perspectives on logical thinking, exploring the origins and traits.
If logic is this incredibly vital tool for emotional control and future success, we have to ask the big philosophical question the team explored. Where does this crucial skill actually come from? Well, the team broke it down brilliantly. They pulled from Folk's focus on experience to Dang's awareness, Hien's analysis, and Ein's thinking. Huang believes it stems from language, and Ben, the chair, highlights alertness. So what this really shows us is that logic isn't just one thing. It's a multifaceted tool built from many different human traits, all working together in harmony.
Now, looking strictly at the team's internal observations, they also had a really open discussion about some subjective, gender-based generalizations regarding how different people process logic. Just to impartially report on their notes here, male traits were discussed as having a right brain bias, hormone influences, a single task focus, and clear information filters. Meanwhile, female traits were discussed as having a left brain bias, being more emotionally driven and excelling at multitasking. The core takeaway for them wasn't about division at all. It was simply about understanding different natural starting points so they could optimize their teamwork.
So, moving from theory to practice, the team laid out some incredibly actionable advice for overcoming any natural weaknesses and building a much stronger logical mind. They suggest focusing on your inherent strengths while actively learning from the logical approaches of others. Specifically, they noted that women can adopt men's logical filtering and vice versa. They also advise limiting small talk and refusing to let any gender stereotypes limit your learning. If you take anything away from this part of the explainer, it's that tolerance is a difficult but absolutely essential virtue for logical growth.
That brings us to Section 3, escaping internal self-doubt, navigating the headwind of growth.
Now, self-doubt is the ultimate internal saboteur, right? But the meeting reframed it beautifully. They call it the natural headwind of growth. The group noted that as you develop and rise up, you are inevitably going to face more challenges, more critics, and moments of hesitation.
So if you're experiencing this headwind right now, it simply means you are moving upward. It is literal proof of your progress, not a signal to just stop and give up.
To actually combat this headwind, they outlined 6 really actionable solutions. You've got optimizing your physical health, leveraging your past experiences, balancing your internal and external energy, and above all, simplifying the problem by applying direct logic. Direct logic acts like a knife. You can use it to literally cut away the doubt. When you're feeling totally overwhelmed, logic slices right through the emotion and reveals the facts.
Now, what's really fascinating here is the stark warning the team issued. They highlighted a direct one-to-one ratio, where the percentage of your daily negative self-talk directly equals the percentage of negative outcomes in your life. Seriously, think about that. If you spend 30% of your day doubting yourself, you are actively manifesting a 30% failure rate. Your internal monologue literally creates your external reality.
And that leads to this profoundly important takeaway from the Auhome meeting. You become the exact person you think you will become. Life is entirely in your own hands. And actually, the very reason this group exists, and the reason we're sitting here analyzing their notes today, is to foster this exact type of intentional, positive growth. You have to paint the portrait of the person you want to be in your mind, and then use logic to confidently walk toward it.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 4, Building Your AI Future. Time to integrate the mind.
Okay, we've executed the critical bridge of our narrative today. Now that our human operating system is structured with logic and cleared of that friction of doubt, we are finally ready to integrate with AI. A clear mind adopts fast, and in the current AI era, where advancements in generative AI and automation are moving at just breakneck speed, hesitation means falling behind. The team firmly cements that having an optimized human mind is the ultimate prerequisite for keeping pace with AI.
So, what does that adoption actually look like day to day? Let's dive into the hard tech discussed in the meeting. The team is already looking at highly practical, everyday AI applications. We're talking about using AI to optimize home electricity usage, streamlining access by logging into the Grok AI platform, and actively scheduling analytical appointments with Grok. They aren't just treating AI as a fancy search engine, they are treating it as a digital colleague. They're making it a scheduled part of their operational day. It's a massive paradigm shift.
They even explicitly mention utilizing a connector link function on Grok for PC to integrate their accounts. This just shows incredible practical foresight. They are actively building the API plumbing for their own personal AI era, making sure all their digital tools talk to one another seamlessly.
Because honestly, they see exactly where this whole thing is going. The document paints this vivid picture of the new era of work, foreseeing AI robots creating entirely new workflows from scratch. They talk about connecting AI agents together so they can learn from each other in real time. That's a concept known as agentic workflows, where interconnected AI models autonomously execute multi-step goals. And remarkably, they are planning on creating localized edge computing AI services using standard personal computers. That massive corporate barrier to entry for building AI services, it's basically vanished.
And this brings us to the absolute core technological mandate of the Auhome meeting. The ultimate goal, the driving force behind all this logic and all this AI integration, is to create exactly one dedicated personal AI for each and every person. Not some shared corporate tool, but a unique, localized, highly personalized agent for every single individual.
This really brings our explainer full circle today. The source text puts it so plainly. Our life is what we make of it. Navigating this fast-paced, tech-driven world requires immense personal responsibility. You literally cannot just passively wait for the AI era to happen to you. You've got to use your logic, conquer your self-doubt, and actively build your place within it.
The blueprint is right there. The future is entirely in your hands. So I'll leave you with the ultimate question. What kind of personal AI will you build for yourself? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, focused learners. Upgrade your human OS, complement your knowledge about the AI era, and start building your future. See you next time.